Alright, we should be live. It's Midweek Magic. It's finally the Brawl Builder Challenge for Edge of Eternities, and we're gonna have to finish the deck off, but we will be running Sami Wildcat Captain. So here they are, in case you haven't seen them yet. I did open all of my packs to see if I could get one before having to craft it, but we did not, so let's take a look at the deck real quick before I craft everything. So here's Sami. So Sami is a 6-mana, 4/4 double strike vigilance in red-white. Spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. Notably, this requires Sami to be in play. They do not do their thing unless they are already out, and they themselves do not have affinity for artifacts, so they themselves? Probably. So, let's take a look at our cards. So we have Mox Opal, because we're going to have a ton of artifacts, and we definitely want more artifacts in play. Esper Sentinel is an artifact creature. It will draw us cards. Our opponents cast non-creature spells and don't pay the tax. We don't have a lot of ways to pump this. This is more to annoy opponents and to get another early artifact out. Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares as premium removal. Experimental Synthesizer is a cheap artifact that lets us play other cards when we cast it. When it comes in and when it leaves, it exiles the top card of our library, and we can play that card until end of turn. And for 3 mana at sorcery speed, you can sacrifice it to make a 2/2 Vigilant Samurai. Galvanic Blast is a lightning bolt. Well, it starts off as a shock and upgrades to a 4 damage, so better than lightning bolt in both cases. Thrum of the Vestige, lightning bolt. Shove aside, so other cheap early creature removal. Chromatic Sphere is an artifact that will cost 0 with Sami out. 1 tap and sacrifice it, add 1 mana of any color so it can filter mana, and then we draw a card. Same with Chromatic Star. Retrofitter Foundry is a cheap artifact that makes more artifacts. Banefire is... so once Sami is in play, all of our spells are going to get dramatically cheaper. So first you figure out what you want X to be, and then you reduce it by the number of artifacts that you have as far as paying the cost. So if you have enough artifacts out, Banefire will just deal a ton of damage. The same is true for our other X spells, which we have like 2, I think. I can see one of them down there. We'll get to it in a moment. Get Lost is a cheap removal spell. Reckless Fireweaver, every time an artifact enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So basically, an Impact Tremors for artifacts. Boros Signet is another artifact mana source that once it's free, then we spend 1 and get 2 from it. Talisman of Conviction can be free and can make colored mana. Arcane Signet, same deal. And then we get into all of these. So there is a whole lot of 2-drop artifacts that ETB to draw a card. So once Sami is down, each one of these will just draw a card and will be free because we should have at least 2 artifacts in play to start with. So Elsewhere Flask, Energy Refractor. It does not matter what the other effect on the card is. In fact, I don't think any of them are relevant to the deck at all. It is entirely for being a free cantrip once Sami is in play. Energy Refractor, Eye of Vecna costs an additional 2 life to do its thing, but still lets me draw a card when it comes in. Golden Egg, Godlight Matrix, Guild Globe, all of them doing the same thing. Ichor Wellspring, if I can sacrifice it, it will also draw me a card. Instant Ramen, Limba Spread. Mind Stone is more one of the ramping artifacts, but then can be turned into a card later. Prophetic Prism draws me a card on ETB. Sleeper Dart draws me a card on ETB. Spare Supplies, same thing. Iron Crag is another ramping artifact that taps for mana. Wedding Invitation is another free card draw once we have 2 artifacts in Sami. Crackle with Power, 2 red and triple X deals 5 times X damage to up to X targets. To help us with casting our spells once everything is free and we're cantripping off of most of them, we have Burgi here. Weftstalker Ardent is another when an artifact I control enters, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Darksteel Ingot should be free and tap for mana to help us cast colored spells. We do have a bunch of colorless sources, and whenever you cast a colorless spell, makes an 0-1 and deals a point of damage. Or, I'm sorry, it makes an 0-1, and when another colorless creature enters, it deals a point of damage to each opponent. So all of my colorless artifacts should be making 0-1s that will then deal damage to the opponents, and it will also give me more mana to work with for the more expensive stuff. Liberator is one of the more important cards, so with Liberator out, once Sami hits the battlefield, you can respawn to your opponent attempting to kill Sami by casting more artifacts. So most of your artifacts will in fact still get cast for free, and you'll get to do all the cool stuff that we're trying to do. Sculpting Steel can copy one of our other artifacts. Skyclave Relic taps for mana. It does make 2 other ones if you kick it, but that's probably not going to be necessary. Although if you have enough artifacts in play, you get to kick it for free, because kicker is an additional cost, and that cost can also be reduced by affinity. Skyscanner is a 3-mana artifact that draws me a card. Tezzeret can tutor up artifacts. He can untap an artifact or creature and put a 1/1 counter on an artifact creature untap this way. That doesn't really matter. He gets loyalty counters though when artifacts enter. So you can potentially get to his emblem very quickly if that's the way you want to win. But mostly he's just in here because he will be free once he has affinity for artifacts, and he will tutor an artifact into play. Memorial Vault lets me trade in one of my artifacts for the top X cards of my library based on its casting cost. Aetherflux Reservoir, so once the deck gets going, we will be playing a ton of cantripping artifacts, ideally, in order to draw a huge chunk of our deck. So the Aetherflux Reservoir, letting us pay 50 life to deal 50 damage is not impossible. In fact, it's actually very doable. The One Ring is an artifact that draws us more cards. Mystic Forge lets us play the top card of our library at any time if it's colorless. And one time as long as it's a colorless spell, we can't play lands off the top, and one time we get to tap it and pay a life to exile the top card of our library to get rid of a land or something that's clogging the top. Panharmonicon doubles up the triggers on our artifacts to make it easier to draw basically our entire deck and do whatever we want. Elish Norn, same deal, doubles up on our triggers. Gandalf, same deal, doubles up on our triggers. Forsaken Monument makes our colorless sources tap for more colorless, gains us life when we cast colorless spells, and buffs our colorless creatures. This one can go if I want it to. Like, it's not essential, but it does help with some things. Gilded Lotus, once it's free, or at least below 3 mana, it nets us mana. Mightstone and Weakstone can either draw us cards or kill a problematic creature, and it can tap for 2 colorless to cast our spells after that. The Endstone is another way to draw more cards as we cast the spells until we can tear through our entire deck. Ugin is one of those top-end finishers. Once we have Ugin out, we should be able to remove all of our opponent's non-land permanents that aren't colorless. Bahamut kills a bunch of things. Ulamog kills a bunch of things, and then is a Doomsday Weapon. Exiles half their deck and is a Doomsday Weapon. Steals all of their stuff. And lets us take their next turn for them and ruin all of their plans. For lands, we have Ancient Den, Great Furnace, Lindblum. Since we'll be casting a lot of non-creature spells, the token will do a lot of damage. Battlefield Forge additionally makes colorless mana for things like the Fleshraker, so that way we have more ways to gain access to that. Clifftop Retreat, Elegant Parlor, Furycom Snarl, Inspiring Vantage, Needle Path, or Needle Verge and Pillar Verge paths. Rustvale Bridge is another artifact land. Sacred Foundry, Sunbaked Canyon, Sunbill of Verge, Temple of Triumph, good old Ancient Tomb, now that that's on Arena. Bloodstained Mire is a fetch. Cavern of Souls, so we can name, I'm guessing at this point, Artificer. I think Artificer is our most common creature type. We have 2 Artificers. We have 5 Eldrazi if we want to, but we really need Sami to be in play, so it's more likely we're going to name Artificer. Although, if they're already in play, we can name Eldrazi, just to make sure nobody can counter our fancy Eldrazi. Command Tower. Darksteel Citadel is another colorless source. Inventor's Fair is a colorless source that can tutor for artifacts and gains us life. Another fetch land. Mirix can make the colorless mana. It can make artifact creature tokens to help bolster our artifact count. And it just makes colorless mana if we need it to for the other things. Power Depot is another artifact land. Does tap for colorless also. Scalding Tarn is another fetch. Oh, did we move past Rising Chicane, which is one of the alchemy cards. It is an artifact land, though, so it will help our other things. Scene of the Crime is an artifact land that's a clue. Ugin's Labyrinth to exile our big, scary, expensive things so we can make it tap for more mana and then eventually get them back if we need to. Windswept Heath and Wooded Foothills. So we're going to craft the rest of the cards that we need. So 6 commons, 3 uncommons, 11 rares, and 5 mythics. Sure. Alright, let's take Sami for a spin, see what we do. See how the games go. Somebody's built Infinite Guideline. We go first. We have a decent opening hand, not amazing, but we're gonna keep this. Let's just draw a card here. It's 2 life. Ooh, we're gonna kill Keenan here. I will decline though for the since it costs mana for that. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent. Alright, so I'm going to run out Burgi first, then. Since they don't currently have a non-land permanent that taps for mana. But only because they don't currently have a non-land permanent that taps for mana. We will kill Keenan next turn, and get the extra mana and whatnot. Notably, this is the alchemy version of the One Ring, so I did have to spend the mana there in order to draw the card. Not that I could do much with it, since I don't have a servo right now.
Your corpse will make a nice souvenir. Being a former assassin is useful sometimes.
Yeah. This is 2 tap, make a servo. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really negatively impact us right now. Play extra lands. They might even sacrifice it because of that.
Nothing else matters.
Okay. Okay, now we're ready to pop off if they can't kill Sami immediately. So we'll decline on that. Yeah, here we go. Uh-oh. Seem to have bricked. Alright, so we're gonna have to use mana here in order to draw with the ring again. It's a little disappointing, but can just straight up destroy Vraska, keep her from interacting with my stuff. That doesn't do anything for us right now. That doesn't do anything for us right now.
I won't forgive this.
Yeah, unfortunately we bricked. We were doing real well, too, up until that point, so. Alright, that's not an issue yet. Okay, they're just off it. They have not found an answer for Sami, and you notice, like, next turn, we're going to get to draw, what, 4 cards off of the ring? So. Yeah, it was already kind of hard for us to lose there with the Panharmonicon, with all the cards that we were drawing. We did finally brick, because we drew just way too many lands there, but that's basically the only thing that's going to stop us once we get going like that, so. So yeah, if they did not have a way to kill Sami, we were just going to keep popping off. Alright. Ooh, 20 gems. And those ships look like lightsabers. I don't know if I think Wizards... Does Wizards actually do, the current Star Wars card game, like Star Wars Unlimited, I think it's called? I don't know if they actually do or not. Because they used to have the Star Wars license, because I remember I used to play the Decipher card game, and once Wizards got bought by Hasbro, they used the fact that Hasbro makes all the toys. Are we keeping this? I think so. I think with the Panharmonicon it's good enough. Wizards through Hasbro Hasbro through Wizards use the fact that they are the maker of all of these Star Wars toys to leverage that, so that way they could take the Star Wars card game license away from Decipher in order to get it, and then they made a Star Wars card game that was very underwhelming. It was basically just a bad Magic clone at the time. They did bring, like, Richard Garfield in to work on it and whatnot. But, yeah. So, that was kind of a dud, if I'm being completely honest. I think this is Sacred Foundry, just because... I mean, I could also get a Plains here, because I don't need to lose the life, but... we do have Crackle with Power in our hand, so... I'll pay the 2 life, have that come in, cast this... Yeah, if I get the Panharmonicon down, then I'll start casting the other stuff if nothing happens to it. Or even if something does, I guess I'm still going to need to cast the other cards in order to draw some stuff. But right now, nothing's currently phasing me, so... I just want to get the extra cards out of each of my things. Really hoping for a land there. Kick things off, but it's fine. Next turn we'll be able to play 2 different draw 2s. That will then be in play for when Sami hits the table, and we might just slam Bahamut after that. Know if we can get enough artifacts down. Oh, I'm not killing your creatures anytime soon, so... Again, crewing. They really did need everything. Hey. Okay, there's more land. We're going to be able to slam Sami next turn and just start popping off with them again, so if they can't kill them. Okay. That's neat. If they can kill Sami, I'm actually going to be in a lot of trouble here, because it's going to take a little while to get them back down. But... yeah, this is where I would really, like, for any situation where the opponent has mana left over, this is where I would like to have, a way to flash in my stuff, so that way once Sami hits the table, I just start winning and don't stop. But yeah, if they don't actually have anything, this is going to get real ugly real fast.
my new future. Even these strange metals answer to me. So there is no system I can't improve.
Let's get Birchie down. Let's see. Sure, let's kill the one that grows first. I've actually run out of room for artifacts down here. Oh my god, we didn't even get to do the cool thing yet. Like... Like, every time we start to pop off, the opponents lose the will to live. Alright, let's keep going. Don't actually currently have a colorless source for this thing, but we have our other colors and some cantrips and whatnot. Yeah, unfortunately we can't make colorless mana with this thing, so we'll need to find a colorless source to cast Glaring Fleshraker, but it's not like we don't have a bunch of colorless sources in the deck, so not enough to run something like Great Distortion, but like trying to get 2 colorless sources into play, because we can easily have, you know, Sami down and, you know, like the 8 artifacts for Kozilek, but not have access to the 2 colorless mana we need in order to cast him, so. It's also possible I should be cracking Chromatic Star, but first we're probably gonna Marsh Flats for Elegant Parlor or whatever it's called, the Surveil Land for murders. Assuming our opponent decides what they're doing here. Come on, opponent. Not want to play Magic? You queued up. I don't know if they played against Sami enough today already. I do have a tendency to grab one of the more broken commander cards from the list. I think, like, Sami's the more broken out of all the ones from the actual set, and I don't know, I'm forgetting some of them, I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure X, whatever it is, the thing that when a non-artifact creature comes into play under your control, you sacrifice it and conjure an artifact creature copy of it onto the battlefield. And it's like an 8-drop that costs 1 less for every creature in your graveyard in blue-black. Like, I think that's the most degenerate one from the alchemy set, rather. Because not only, if you can mill yourself a bunch, you can make it very cheap, even with the commander tax, but also, after that, all of your comes into play creatures have double triggers without Panharmonicon, and if you get a Panharmonicon effect, you get quad triggers, because you'll get the original copy, which will then get sacrificed, so you also get any death triggers or anything going on, and then you get a new artifact creature copy of it conjured onto the battlefield. So that one can get really out of hand also, if I wasn't going to build Sami, but I'd already decided before seeing the alchemy cards that I wanted to build a Sami deck, so... And I'm just doing this to kill time since the opponent obviously queued up and walked away. No, I did not have fun there. It's fine, we'll play a few more games with Sami. Kavron Consume. So we got a fancy version of an alchemy card. Oh, that's the one that I don't even like. That's the one that sneak attacks a creature or artifact onto the battlefield, but makes it a 4/4 until end of turn, in addition to the normal through the breach sneak attack type text. That seems fine. Oh, right. It's only until end of turn, so we just lost that forever. I'm thinking that I have until the end of the next turn to play it. That was a mistake on my part. In case you were wondering why I did that. I definitely should have saved it for later. Yeah, because now my Elegant Parlor's gone, and I definitely need more land here. Okay, there we go. But now maybe we can hold the noodles until we get the other thing out. Yeah, both versions of Tanic are also pretty far up on the list of silly, potentially degenerate things. Why are you not tapping this thing for mana? Come on now. Little common sense, please. Yeah, I think I hold it to try and get double triggers. Permanent entering, so yeah, they're not even going to get their landfall triggers after this. Okay. They're going to get to do one this turn, though. But then they're going to have to kill Elish Norn to get any more, so... Yeah, they're going to get to draw the card and deal me some damage, but I'm going to gain the life back from my Inventor's Fair here. If we hit an untapped land next turn and get to cast Sami, and they can't deal with Elish Norn, I feel like we're gonna win, or they're at least gonna concede out of frustration. This card, oh no, it's Highlands, but still. Yep. Oh right, it's the ability of their thing, not... comes into play tapped. Alright. Yeah, it's probably fine. Yep, and we're gonna draw it. I don't think we need Murex also anymore. Let's go ahead and get this guy down now. Yeah, if they can kill Norn or Sami next turn, like if they have a fight effect or something, then I'm gonna be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, your stuff doesn't do anything right now. And I don't think they're actually going to get the buff from Titan here, so... Yep, we finally ran out of stuff. Oh well. Suppose we crack this and draw a card. Oh, there we go. Wait, opponent, come back. I mean, that time we actually did do the thing where we're going to kill them because we're dealing so much damage to them and they have no blockers and they're not going to get their giant buff next turn anymore. So. And even if they kill Norn and Sami, we still have Ulamog in play, so that's going to just chonk them, like, chew through their deck very quickly, if nothing else. Alright, like I said, we'll do a few more, pad out the runtime, but I think you get the idea of what Sami's all about here. Ooh, 5-color sliver. Also an interesting one, even though I don't think the other slivers are actually on Arena, so you can only get them by conjuring, but still a pretty cool deck. Alright, I mean, I have a ramping artifact, I get to do the fetch land thing, so... Grab the Elegant Parlor. Ah, cool, puts it front and center. I mean, we can sack it to draw a card later, so it's fine. Meantime, it's another cheap artifact. Okay. Ooh, that's a really good one if we can get to the mana. Alright. There, Mystic Forge down. Yeah, I'm leaving land on top because we need to get to the 6th land for Sami, so... But once Sami's in play, we have... This will be our 4th artifact, so... Getting dangerously close to one of these being free. Once this one is free, should be fine. Alright, they're doing ramping stuff. We're going to be in trouble soon. They're going to get to cast their sliver, and then things are going to start happening to me, so... Oh. Oh, that's probably perfect. I wonder if I actually should have cracked this to draw that one first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will give us 7 mana next turn, plus Sami, so... So yeah, they're going to get to do their cool thing, and then we're going to get to do our cool thing, and hopefully our cool thing absolutely ruins them here. So... Play the Labyrinth. Use Emmy. Oh, that's only down to 3. Why did I think that was going to be free? Okay. I'm miscounting artifacts. Alright. Oh, now it's going to be free. Because none of these let me draw anymore. Killing their guys doesn't super help. But running this out right now doesn't help either, because I'm not going to be able to draw any more cards this turn. Alright. I think we have to just pass the turn. It's possible we can double... Oh! Oh, that's terrible. Alright, well, let's see if they have anything that gives Galta and the rest of their team haste first. Because if not, then we should still be fine next turn. Let's see... Trample haste. Okay, that one only having haste is fine. Get to draw some cards, but we might legit just kill them next turn with the end stone plus what we have, so... So yeah, them doing something super cool is fine. Alright, so that's free. Just gonna run it out. And now the end stone is free. And does any of this make color... Oh, right, this makes colorless mana, so... Yep. Okay, let's get rid of that. Other land. Alright, that's fine. Still have this. Alright, so let's see. We want to destroy... Probably that one first, actually. Kill that. Draw card. Sorry, I meant to cast that. And they're off it, yeah, because we're just going to keep popping off. Yeah, no, I knew this deck was going to be fun. This is why, if I was going to build a commander from this set, like for a full-on commander, it was going to be Sami exactly for this reason, because you can do a lot... Basically the same thing, there's a bunch more artifacts that, you know, will draw you cards as part of their thing, so... We can do like one or two more, we'll see. I want to get it close to an hour at least, so... Maybe somebody will kill us before we get to do the cool thing. Or at least kill Sami, you know. So far, nobody has had a way to kill Sami, and that's just been ruining everybody else because of that, so... Alright, we're gonna wait so that way we can get the Flesh Raker down first. In fact, I probably should have run this out and got their dual land. So we're just gonna go Demon from Sami. Flesh Raker online. Oh, that's adorable. Kill my Flesh Raker? Nope. They're gonna demand some answers. No land yet, or did they discard land, so they're going to get a land guaranteed here? Fine. Can't really stop them. I'm assuming they're getting the forest though, but yeah, milling makes sense there. Need right this second. Yeah, depending on how big they can make the Choco Chick this turn, determine whether or not I feel impelled to... Sorry, Koroyami. Did not notice you come in. I was very focused at the time. My apologies. I only noticed the stupid ad bot because of all the highlighting my thing does. But yes, we are doing the Brawl Builder Challenge for Midweek Magic, based on Edge of Eternity's commanders, and I have had this deck ready to go since, like, week 3 of the format. Well, we can't have you killing my thing. I need that. Let's see. The orange one... target player gains X life, put 2/1/1 counters. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control is... Alright, so we're doing this, but I can't quite tell which one is... I think it's... Yeah, that's the one. That should be the one that's trying to kill my guy. So now they get another land. But they do not kill Glaring Fleshraker. Since they're losing their landfall guy anyway. So they should be gaining life? Yeah. Okay. I take the hit. And then we see what is on top of my deck. Another land. Well, this is awkward. One of us is going to have to go home and change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh wait, we should play the land first. I don't need to sacrifice him just yet. Yep. All right. Let's see what we hit. Because if we hit anything and we start going off, I just want to do the cool thing. All right. Choose him. Pop this now. Finally ran out of stuff. Alright. For 2. So we have 3 artifacts in play for our affinity count. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana next turn. Get to draw a card. Okay, nope. So far, relatively fine. We are going to need to draw something, though. If we just draw another land, it's going to be a little rough. Then again, if they don't have anything for Sami, that doesn't really matter that much to me. I can take damage for a turn or two. It's if they kill Sami that we're actually in trouble. I'll be able to recast them again next turn once, easily, but... Okay. Well, they already drew their card, right? Yeah, so that one doesn't matter. Alright. 111. I take another point of damage. Yeah, it's basically the same as drawing a land. Alright, Sami, go get him. Use your secret text of being a 4/4 double strike vigilance. Alright. Get a surveil next turn. Assuming we live, they might actually be able to kill me from 10 life here if they have enough other landfall. Because they have one more coming this turn. And they get a card draw here, so... Would not be that hard to kill me. Fortunately, since we don't need the mana from Glaring Fleshraker's tokens that badly, be able to chump the 4-5 at least. Right, in and of itself, not problematic if they have a big enough creature that they can run out and give haste to. Okay, puts me 7. Maybe we'll finally lose a game. That'd be okay. We've been... Yep, that puts me down to 6. Still give it haste, but I don't really fear that all that much. Assuming this is just going to be the 4-5 rumbling then, that if they're going to combat. CO1. Alright, we're still alive, so... Sacrifice your Bitter Reunion opponent? Because I don't think you are. I don't think you can deal 5 to my face right now. We're good. Pass priority. Alright. It's fine. We'll wait. There we go. Alright, grab the Elegant Parlor. Got our Surveil on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we do get to cast that. But it's not going to draw us a card or anything. So we're going to kill Tannock at that point? Is that even necessary? I feel like we're killing one of their other things. Like maybe even the Bitter Reunion at that point. Because they don't currently have a double landfall right now. So I think we leave him on top. I think that's a bit too strong. Just pass on. Okay, so hit them for 8 first, because I don't think they're blocking here. Oh, they are going to chump. Ah, that's not a chump. Alright, but they didn't kill Sami, so... Yeah, I don't think killing Tannock's the answer here. I think it's killing Bitter Reunion so that they can't give anything haste. Because they can easily recast Tannock and play 2 lands if they have it, so... I don't think that's actually the plan here. Next turn, we're probably supposed to kill the Overlord. If they don't play anything more problematic. The other option is to just kill the ship. That way I can attack, and they have to block. I mean, I can't afford to take 3 here. If they have a way to put 2 lands into play, I die. So if this is a Death Touch trick, good for them, they kill Bahamut, but... Okay. Yep. Couldn't really be out. Like, I would have died to that, so I kind of had to block there. Will not take much to kill them. I need to get Tannik out of the way. And apparently now a 2-2 also. 3-3. Alright. Yeah, no, I'm probably going to lose this, just barely, but that is not the colorless card I was looking for. Alright. And now that gives them a land next turn. Alright. So, yeah, I don't think I can win now. Just drew one too many lands. Right, none of these are any of the card draw ones. I'm not forgetting anything. No? Okay, cool. Oh, they're tied for the strongest, so they do get to draw a card between Sami and the 4-5. Yep. Yeah, I'm almost definitely going to die because they have 3 damage in the air and 1 point of damage from their thing, so... Now they're killing Sami, which is terrible for me. I mean, yeah. Got him. Take action. We can recast them, but I'm pretty sure I'm dead this turn. Oh yeah, that actually kills me, because that's 3 in the air and 2 damage from the lander token. Yep, you got it. Good game. Alright. Well, we'll do at least one more. I'd like to go out on a win, and we're just about at the hour mark, so... Okay. Seems fine with the ramp and everything. Let's start with that one. One, two, three, four. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. So far, nothing at all scary, so... Ah, thank you for the follow. Do I kill the cantrip creature here? I might. I might supposed to kill the cantrip creature here. Or cantrip, the magpie. Oh no, I only have... Never mind, this is red and 2. I can't even kill it, because I played the top land. Which I kind of needed to do. In fact, all of them except Sunbaked Canyon are top lands anyway. Alright. I'd say fine, we'll kill Memnon, but I'm probably not able to kill Memnon this turn, because they're probably going to cast an artifact. Put the counter on it. Fine. On my card. Alright. Got the Rustveil Bridge. Got the Talisman. If they tap out this turn, I can cast Sami into Ramen if nothing else. Alright. I've run into this every once in a while. Is this one of the players that is only running cards? from the set, because it feels like it. Actually, is there any reason not to cast Ramen here? I don't think there actually is. We cast the Ramen, we draw the card, because... Yeah, so now we're a card deeper, so that helps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is for Sami. And then we try and go off this turn. Alright. I mean, if they can't kill Sami here, I'm feeling pretty confident that we're just going to win. Yeah, that doesn't faze me much. I can take the hit this turn from most of their stuff, so... If they're only hitting me for like 8 damage, I'm doing great. Yep. Well, they didn't cast 2 spells, so... Yep. Yeah, I kind of felt like they shouldn't have attacked with that's where they were at. Okay. Alright, Lindblom is non-creatures anyway, so we'll run out this one first, see what we draw. Yeah, alright. Let's cast us a... Yeah, mana's fine. Alright. Cast us an Ulamog. Ah, man, he's only a 14/14. Parlor. Let's see. 3 red and 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can hit 2 targets for 5 damage each. Or, no, I can hit 2 targets for 10. So, yeah, we should probably do that. No, there's no further unlocks. So, alright, so we kill probably that one and this one at this point. Tap an untapped creature I control. Oh, right. There we go. And jam with Sami. I mean, I still have my dailies to get for the day, but yeah, there's nothing else for the actual event to unlock, so... Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they'll be left with 3 permanents right now when Ulamog attacks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're done now. You're being silly. One less permanent. Yeah, no, they're very dead. Ulamog's going to kill them. Alright, so I think that's a pretty good showcase of Sami and all of their cool tricks. We got to do basically everything we wanted. We cast a bunch of Eldrazi Titans on the cheap. We got to churn through huge amounts of our deck. We got to double up on our triggers. We got to cast big X spells for very little mana. I think that's a very good showcase, actually, of all the cool things we can do with Sami. So that's going to do it for me for right now. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Good rest of your day.